For social control, I'm going away with now. The process of socialization brings order, stability, and predictability to people's behavior. If a child is socialized into a perceived right way of doing something, such as eating with a knife and fork, there must also be a perceived wrong or deviant way. In this example, perhaps eating with their fingers, which should be discouraged. Socialization, therefore, is also a form of social control. It involves limiting the range of behaviors open to individuals. Social control is linked to the idea that human behavior involves a lifelong process of rule learning built on sanctions, the things we do take to make people conform. The agencies of socialization described below are also agencies of social control. So before we go into the agencies, for social control, it's the way we align people to conform in the society. When we talk about conformity, it means compliance. So without social control, people will do whatever they like because nobody is there to check what they are doing, to checkmate it. So whatever we do, however we act, there's always going to be social control that checks. So it checks and balances the situation. And how does social control work in this aspect? It works by rewards and sanction. So in school, when you get crashed or when you do things that are wrong in the class, you might be detained. You might put you in detention, or you might not be allowed to go for your break time.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So you don't have a free time. So this is a way to control how things are done. And some students, at the end of the month, they give students students of the month or best students in the class and the rest. This is a reward. It's still part of social control. So there's sanction, there's reward. And both of them work to enable the society to work well. So that is what social control is about. So what are the agencies of social control? The first one, so agencies of socialization. So we can select the primary socialization, the family. The family can be nuclear and or extended. It is nuclear if it is that father, mother, and the children. It is extended if it extends to the grandfather, the grandmother, the cousins, the nephew, the uncles, the aunts, and the rest. So that is extended. But either way, they are both family. So for family, although there are only a small number of family roles, this tends to be played out over long periods and involve complex forms of role development, especially in societies that allow divorce and remarriage. Adults may have to learn roles ranging from husband, wife, to parent, step-parent. Child development also involves a range of roles: baby, infant, child, teenager, and eventually perhaps an adult with children of their own. So it's a stage. But these stages are stages that we cannot skip. And each stage has its own role.
Yes.
So as a child, you have to behave like a child. There are some social, there are some behavior that is attached to whatever age category you have. That is the point I'm making there. So the ability to develop roles within the context of a group, mainly governed by relationships based on love, responsibility, and duty, means that we can make mistakes and learn lessons as we go without causing too much harm. Reader refers to parents as significant others. They shape both our basic values, such as how to address adults, and how moral values, for example, our understanding of the difference between right and wrong, that's moral. Basic norms such as how to address family members, like your mom, like your dad, when, where, and how to eat and sleep, and definitions of acceptable behavior and normally thoughts within the family. Sanctions are mainly informal, with positive sanctions involving things such as, before we go to the types of sanctions we have, it's still about the family. In the family, we will be taught how to address our parents, how to address our colleagues, how to address a family member. So these things are charity. It starts from home. So these are all what the family will do. Though the family might, the dad, your mom they might sanction you, they might tell you, or they might punish you for certain things. Though if this happens, it is informal because they are not in a formal setting. It's not aligned with any law. There's no formality. So whatever they do is still informal. It is not formal. So that is what you need to understand. So how do parents try to correct or control us? One, facial expression. Back in the days, like when I was younger, my mom does not need to talk. She only look at me, and that facial expression says it all. Yeah. So if she wants me to continue it, I would know. But if that face changes, I know it is to stop.
Yes.
So that's facial expression. It's informal, but it is part of family socialization. Verbal approval, like or reinforcement. Oh, good boy, good girl. Physical rewards, such as gifts. We talked about that already. Gifts, they are part of how to conform. So negative sanctions are similarly wide-ranging, from showing disapproval through language, such as shouting, to physical punishment. For functionalists, they often see primary socialization as one-way process that passes from adults to children. However, socialization involves more than an unquestioning acceptance of the behavior we learn within the family group. Although children are socialized by being encouraged to copy behavior, they are also actively involved in negotiating their socializations. For example, children do not always obey their parents. They may even choose not to obey as part of a test of the limits of social control. Children may also receive different socialization messages. A relative may reward behavior that a parent would punish. Children have to learn that the same behavior may receive different reactions from different people in different situations. Faced with a new situation, they need to be able to judge what the reactions are likely to be. So the point is, as we have rewards for the great things we do, there is also sanction. That is the point. But according to functionalists, they believe primary socialization is one-way thing. Why? Because it does not expose us to the secondary side. So for functionalists, they believe the role of primary socialization ends at home. Then the child or the children must understand that there's also outside of the world or outside the home that they need to integrate to and they need to understand and learn from before the society can function well. So according to functionalists, so it is primary socialization needs secondary socialization.
Yeah, it needs outside the home.
It needs outside home too. So that's about that. And also, based on functionalists, they believe people have different reactions to different situations. So we should understand that what you do to me that get me angry, you might do it to someone else that he or she would even reward you for it.
Yes.
Do you understand? So it means we should always understand that people will have different reactions towards the same actions. So that's about functionalists and family. Any question about that? Good. So